G'day guys, Declan here from Tier 1. So today Nick's going to be showcasing how we direct mount a set of rails straight to your tent. So this is no crossbars needed, straight rails and wing to the tent. Now you can run crossbars, there's a few different ways to do it, but we're going to show you how we like to do it in store. So this is the slimmest, sleekest, lightweight option. This is a bit more one of those challenging tents, but if you follow along, hopefully you'll find it pretty easy to do at home. We also offer in-store fitting of these, so you can drop your car off in the morning with the tent, come back, we've fitted it all, car's ready to go. If you've got any questions on fitting up, on the video, compatibility, shoot us an email, give us a call, we're always happy to help. Yeah, hopefully you enjoy the video. Cheers.
This installation video will sort of help you with most of the tents, but there are some very big differences you need to be careful of. I recommend doing this on a table, it just makes your life that much easier. One of the first things you want to do is find out where this rear wing will sit on your tent. It's crucial that it's bang on in the middle because it sort of dictates where the rails will sit. When you're happy how the wing was sitting, go through with the textile and just mark out where those holes were. It's important that you measure either side of the tent too to make sure the wing is in the center. Moving on to the rail, we can do the exact same thing as to what we did with the wing. You want to find out where this rail is going to sit, so make sure you're measuring either side, front and back, and use that rear wing to dictate where the rail will sit. As this rail and tent combo is going on a GU patrol, you can see that the front of the tent I'm measuring here between the rails is 1135. You'll find that this measurement will change between different models of cars. If you guys need a hand, jump on the website, there's a list of instructions there, and you can see where all the measurements are for your model of car. When we do these fit ups, we always like double check where the holes are. We want to make sure that we're not drilling into something that we shouldn't inside the tent. The Motop Next Gen has a lighting cable. It runs along the whole right side of the tent. It powers the lights for the inside the tent. So you want to make sure you're not drilling into that. So it's always good to check those things. Go through with the hammer and just punch out all those holes. It's going to make it heaps easier to drill. Go through and drill out all your holes. It's important that you drill really straight because we're not dealing with a lot of room inside the tent. So if you start drilling on an angle, you will find that fitting a bolt through the tent will be a bit of a nightmare. So once you've drilled out all the little holes, you can go through and make them a bit bigger. All I'm using here is a 6.5mm drill bit. And just go slow and keep it straight. Grab your wing and double check your holes are in the right spot. Make sure you guys are vacuuming or blowing off all the metal shavings because you don't want that stuff through your tent. Whenever you're drilling holes into your tent, you always want to make sure that we are sealing them up as well. In the rail box, you'll find that you've got a massive bag of nuts, bolts, washers, etc. So these are the ones that you'll be using to installing the rails and the wing to the tent. The next part of this process is a little bit tricky by yourself, so it could be a good idea to grab someone to give you a hand. You want to feed a bolt through the underside of the tent, through the wing, and nip them up. You don't want them to do them too tight, you just want them loosely for now. It's going to be the same process for the rails as well. So using that cutout for the rail on the wing, this is why we do the wing first, because it does put that rail in the right spot, as you can see here on the video. Once you have the rail sitting on the tent and positioned in the checkout from the wing, you can feed a bolt through the top. This will hold it as you pop the tent and make sure the rail won't fall off. Being now that the rooftop is open, it gives you a chance to put the bolts through the underside and chuck a washer and a nut on the top. Like I said earlier, you want to make sure that all these bolts and nuts aren't nipped up super tight. This is what it should look like. You want to go through and make sure you're double checking that measurement at the front, the 1135. It's crucial because this is where the rails will sit in the gutters of the car. When you're happy with how it's all sitting, you can go through and tighten all the bolts up. We don't really recommend using a rattle gun for this because the rooftop tent is super soft and it is quite easy to over tighten them. Moving on, you'll find in your box that you'll have these wing kits. Now, there should be two of these plates. They go on the inside of the rail and wing, and they essentially just hold the two together. If you look closely at the plate, you will find that there is two smaller holes and two larger holes. The smaller holes are for the wing, and these will use the smaller M6 bolts, and the larger holes will use the larger M8 bolts. Now, I have left that hole out for a reason, and you'll see why later. Both the wing and the rails have pinch weld for the bottoms. So all you can see here is I'm just going through and applying the smaller pinch weld to the wing. A little tip too is use a hammer and just smack it down. It makes it so much easier than trying to actually push it down with your fingers. We always give you guys a little bit of extra pinch weld, so you want to make sure you go through and trimming off the excess. That will be the same with the rail as well. The rails still use the larger pinch weld, and you will find that there will be some excess on the first ones that you'll just have to cut off. So you will have 8 larger pieces of pinch weld, so these all go on the feet of the rail. Once that's all sorted, that's pretty much everything you need to do for the underside of the tent, so you can look at flipping it over and getting the car in. Make sure you are applying that little piece of rubber inside your clamps. It's there to protect your paint to make sure it's not rubbing against the paint or the rail. We do also recommend applying a small amount of stainless anti-seize to these bolts. Now, going back earlier to when we left out that hole in the wing bracket, that is because we want to be able to feed a bolt through the clamp and the bracket and nip it up on the underside.